We're on.
Hello. Hi.
It always cracks me up because you always say, well, hello. It's just, as soon as the girl's voice says recording in progress, then you
Yes,
say,
I know.
hello. Hi.
Hello.
What's
Hello,
up,
my
Manjeet?
bestie. Not
Hi.
much. What's going on, girl? What's going on? We are doing this on a Tuesday for connection and episode. I don't even know. What is this? Season 4.
It's episode 120, I
Oh,
think. I'm almost positive.
M
Or
G.
119. I think I just did
Wow.
119. So I think it's 120 episodes. This
How?
is crazy.
I know.
Fourth
Well, cheers to
season.
that.
Cheers to
Cheers
that.
to Lightworkers Unite.
Light Workers Unite.
Ding. Ah,
Perfect.
and insert
And
promo.
insert
And
music. Uh-huh. Lightworkers Unite is a podcast and social show hosted by intuitive women, lightworkers, and most importantly, friends, Mayume and Manjeet. Welcome to our podcast, Lightworkers Unite, where we believe there is a lightworker within all of us.
whether you are a medium, an educator, or a nuclear medicine technologist, there is a lightworker within you, and we have work to do.
This is a safe and sacred place where lightworkers connect, grow, and learn.
And share our light with the world. I don't know about you, but I'm still on a high from our Lightworkers Unite Sister Circle we did on Saturday.
Yeah, it
How
was
about you?
amazing. I loved it. I loved it. I was in a high all that whole night. It was a great night for me to get out
Oh,
because we got to do that and connect with all the women. And then I got to go to my high school reunion, 35th high school reunion in a bar. So I got to go to a bar. It's been a long time since I've been in a bar
oh,
and drank.
oh.
But I loved start kicking off the evening with the beautiful women and the theme was liberation. We talked about this in our last podcast, and
Mhm.
we did intuitive art and breath work. And that's something we should talk about breath work too. Like we haven't talked about that on our
I know.
show.
Yeah.
So that was, I think, helpful for people. We just only gave 4 breathing exercises. I think that was enough to, you don't want to overload someone. And we went through them all and talked about them. And then we went into the breathing painting.
Oh my
I don't even know what
gosh.
you call it.
Yes.
Straw painting, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a really cool concept, because we were talking about liberation in general, right? Freedom
Yes.
energy. And we kind of started with like, where in your life are you ready for freedom? And so it kind of got everybody kind of talking and
Oh, I
sharing
loved it.
about
Yeah.
what they are really craving, in their life at this point in their life. And that was honestly for me, that was just so healing and loving and beautiful
It
because
was
everybody
great.
was felt
I
really safe,
I
right?
agree. And it was kind of an icebreaker, right? If you think about it,
Yeah.
when you do these
Mhm.
groups, people do icebreakers. This was a great way to get everyone connected right away because
Yeah.
women are, we're empathetic and compassionate. So a lot of love and support was already happening with a bunch of strangers,
Mhm.
you know?
I
So yeah,
know.
it was really great. I agree. That was a beautiful
Yeah.
start. A beautiful start.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really lovely just to connect. And I think, we're going to talk a little bit about intuitive art, as well as we kind of move through this episode. But I just think that that is a really big, big part of setting the stage before you engage in any kind of intuitive art, right? Is creating a safe space. And so that was something that I was really like, I just really love doing. And I think that was really fun to just have people talking and kind of open up because the next step was we talked a little bit about breathing techniques and how, our nervous system is so in overdrive, I think, in general. I
Yes,
think
in
people's,
general, I agree.
yeah. And I think just with COVID and sickness, and our nervous system is so heightened that we're living in this state of sympathetic nervous system response, which is
Mhm.
essentially where you're in fight and flight all the time. We're moving all the time. We're going, going, going. And that is where anxiety lives, right? If we don't
Yes,
know how to stop that heightened response. Not that the sympathetic nervous system is bad, right? It's a
right.
protector. It's like a primal instinct that saves us from predators and shit. It's a good thing. But when we try to stay in that space for too long, we can do a lot of damage to our psyche and our
Yeah.
body. Right.
And our beautiful vessel. Yeah. I think it's
yeah.
compromised. Definitely.
Yeah.
That
And
form
so
of
I think that
stress.
was fun to kind of put like, engaging the parasympathetic nervous system, which is where we embrace calm,
Mm-hmm.
where we tell the nervous system to relax, to breathe. And I can't even say that without taking a deep breath. Like
Right.
the
The
parasympathetic
breathing.
nervous system. Like I just want to like breathe it out
I
because
know.
breath is one of the fastest ways for us to get to that place
Yes.
of like calm, right?
Yes.
And so that was fun to try different breathing techniques, and really you could palpably see and physically see people's energy calm
Mm-hmm.
when we did the
Yeah.
breathing exercises. Yeah. So that
Yeah.
was really fun.
It was fun. I agree. I liked it. I liked
Yeah.
it. I think
And that's kind of
it's
freedom, right? We can't be free unless we're feeling calm, right? And so
right. Peace.
there was a correlation there that was really beautiful. And then,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right. We talked about it last week too on our past pod with the element of air and why
yeah,
we tied it to liberation and tied it to freedom
hmm,
because like when if you can breathe, you're free. Birds are flying with
yes,
the air, the wings, and I just even the sigh, we talked about that. It just felt like the breathing was really important to focus on. So
yeah.
I think we're brilliant. I think we are so smart that we made that connection when we developed
Good
this
God.
series of these circles. I mean,
Well,
how smart was that? It
it
worked
is
out.
really fun.
It would, yeah.
Yeah, because then it went right into this really cool little creative art project, right? Where we embraced our intuition. So we did a little bit of the work and we did a little digging about where we're looking for freedom. And then we had them, we had some dollops of paint
Mm-hmm.
on a canvas, and then they used a straw to use their powerful breath to move the paint around and
Yeah.
kind of see what wants to come
Yeah.
forward.
It was
Yeah.
great. And I wasn't sure how it was going to work. We weren't sure. And I had practiced at home to make sure that one, it can be done. And two, like how watery does the paint need to be? And I had to make sure I had the right
Yeah.
that and the canvases. And it was interesting because at first I was like, oh, I don't know. Because if we needed to have really watery paint, not too watery, but enough to where the breath could move it. And sure as
Hmm.
shit, these ladies, it moved everywhere. And we even had one woman talk about how at first she was trying, like controlling it, trying to get it to do something. And then she realized, wait, I'm not supposed to be controlling this or trying. I'm just supposed to
Hmm.
do it.
Right.
Right. And so the idea is to let go of any outcome, let go of any judgment or control when we do this. It is really to connect with our higher self, with spirit, and to see what comes out of it. Because on those canvases, I thought they were all so different,
Yeah.
absolutely different.
Yeah.
I mean, completely different. Some were massive and big, and some were smaller, and some had it antennas. I call
Hmm.
them antennas, and
Oh,
some
yeah.
had little beautiful shapes and imagery inside. It's Some had
It was
portals.
beautiful. Portals. Absolutely.
We saw
Portals.
portals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God.
But I love that, and I think that's a really important part, right? It was like the whole point of intuitive art is it's a practice where you're using your intuition and you're responding to the canvas, and you're responding to the canvas or any kind of medium
Mm-hmm.
as an artist, but also as an observer, right? And so I think one of the most important pieces of that is to really just trust in the process. So, like
Mm-hmm.
in traditional art, right, you have a sketch pad and you sketch what you want the image to be. Here's the land, here's the
Yeah.
horizon, here are the mountains, right? You have a general idea of where things are going to be in your painting. But with intuitive art, you have no fucking idea. And that's
Right.
the whole point, is
Right.
that you're meant to be surprised at the end. And
Yeah. I
so
love it.
you're meant to be like, I don't know what is going to
Exactly.
come out of this,
I
but
know.
I'm in. I'm gonna do
I'm
it.
in.
I'm
I
gonna do
love
it. But
exactly.
Don't you think though that kind of intuitive process that just you have to really be feeling safe? Don't you think? I mean, that will
Yeah.
not happen. You cannot do an intuitive art project if you don't feel safe and are open to trusting in that process.
Yeah.
Right?
I
I
I
think those are the
agree.
key
Well, and I
parts.
think a part of feeling safe is removing stress. So
Hmm.
it's removing that
Yep.
anxiety and stress so that you have calm and peace
Hmm.
and safety. And so when we're in a circle, like we tethered everyone, we started with a meditation, we were breathing, and people connected with one another. So I really felt like these women felt safe with us, with you and me,
Yeah.
guiding
Oh,
them in this so
what
that
an honor.
they
Wow.
could sit there. And again, and I always say this when I'm clearing people, they did not have to be anywhere else but here right now.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
Yes. I
to
love it.
eliminate that thought of all the tasks I have to do, what I have, how am I going to get home? Or I wonder what's going on with my kids. It's like, nope, nope. You have to become present. You don't have to be
Hmm.
anywhere else. You give yourself permission to be present and in the moment. You're safe, you're supported, you're loved. And then it kind of calms the system down so that they can get into that beautiful intuitive space and
Yeah.
connect and allow the information and the messages to flow onto
Yeah.
that little
Yeah.
itty
I
bitty
love that.
canvas. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really, and I feel, I've done quite a bit of intuitive art just myself as a participant. And so I know, I do these goddess paintings
Yes.
with some of my sisters, Abby and Cassie and Raina and Laura. We do these girls retreats and we just open up to this whole process. And it is really, it's a whole weekend of intuitive, connecting with your intuition, feeling safe with each other, eating a lot of great food, having
Mm-hmm.
cocktails. I mean, there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of really fun things going on. But the big thing is we basically connect with the canvas first. And so we end up writing a bunch of words that are coming to mind, like trust the process, feeling like love. Like I remember, one time I just put love, 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 love all over the board in Sharpie because I just was feeling like my
That's what
heart
you
chakra
felt
was
like.
connecting
Yeah.
with you know, and that canvas becomes like a portal. And what you
Yeah.
do is you're inviting your muse, you're inviting your
Mm-hmm.
beautiful goddess to come forward to be alive on the canvas. Um, so as the days
I love
progress,
it.
you're kind of constantly building and building. And I know you've seen some of the processes of those the goddesses that have come to life. And I mean, you get to one point when you go out into the forest at one point and pick up little like seeds and
Oh,
leaves
I
and like
love
all kinds of
that.
stuff. You put that all on there. So it's kind of
Yeah, I
3D
love
ish.
that.
It's really quite the process. And then you're kind of stuck with all these images and stencils and designs and all this stuff. But I'm like, I can't find her. Where's my muse?
Mm.
Like, where is she? Like you can't find her. And it's so lovely because some of the other women will come in, like Reina the last time, she fucking flipped my entire canvas upside down. Like she literally picked it up and moved it 3 times, like move it right 180 from each other. And there she was. I could
Isn't that
see the
interesting?
outline of her. Yeah. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. And she did look like an alien. Not a big surprise to any of
Not,
you all,
and that's
but
okay. I love that.
it was so bad. But it
Entities.
was entities. It was just the craziest thing. But
Oh, I love it.
there's that part where you start, I don't know, you start really getting in your head and you really start second guessing it. And you start saying, it almost feels like the reinforcement of the process has to happen all the time. Like
Hmm.
stop, breathe, just relax into the moment and get out of your head.
Yeah.
Intuitive art is not about accessing your brain. It's about
Right.
accessing your crown and your heart,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
really such a fun
Well,
experience. Yeah.
I loved it. I love it. And as you know, I love all art. I love creativity. It's my favorite thing. That's how I kind of I used it. People joke in my classes that I've taken in the past with with other mediums that they were really nervous to do platform or group readings, in a group. And I started off that way. I was more nervous
Yeah.
to do individual one-on-one. I don't know
We
why.
know.
I was like, ugh. But because to me it was more of a buffer to have the group. So I brought in the intuitive painting. It started off with clouds. And it was something that came up in a meditation. And my bestie Tracy Gwynn Fitzgerald was my first like practice testee. Like I had her close her eyes, and I had her paint clouds with her eyes closed, and I timed it and guided her. And I'll never forget, we stepped back, she opened her eyes and looked at it, and there was like, you could tell there was like a little elephant in the clouds in her painting.
Mm.
And she
Oh,
come to find she loved elephants. And we thought that was, I remember thinking that was so cool that she loved elephants and it kind of appeared in the clouds. And
oh,
so for
wow.
me, that closing your eyes, feeling safe again, right? And releasing any stress and just and painting and to see what comes up. And we'd have shapes and different figures and you just never know what comes up. That I feel the
Yeah.
intention that you have to set in these intuitive paintings is show me what I need to know. And
Mm.
I really bring in spirit to be a participant, and then I deliver messages while we're painting. And and same thing with the rock mandalas. I think that if people feel
Hmm.
they can get into the creative juices, creativity
Hmm.
can come out in all forms. You don't have to be artistic. You don't have to be,
Yeah.
great at it. It is just raw. Just let yourself
Hmm.
be. And
Yeah.
I really do think spirit supports your higher self, your guides show up, and then you can really like, okay, I need a message here, and I'm going to intuitively put it on this canvas or this paper or whatever it is,
Mhm.
and see what I need to know. Like your goddess showed up for you. I love it when even with the dot man dolls, we were talking about this before we started. I love it when someone is kind of surprised at like,
Yeah.
whoa, when they realize the connection. And I think sometimes it takes the
Hmm.
guide or the leaders of the group to point it out, where if you were just sitting
Oh,
at home
yeah.
doing it, you may
Yeah.
not see it. But for
Yeah.
us who are coming in fresh and saying, ooh, because we were reading all the paintings,
Yeah.
I love it. And the mandalas are my favorite things too. So explain how
Hmm.
it's really the circle of the universe, and that center color is representative of you, your soul, yourself, and then the first circle is your family, and then your extended family, and then your besties, your community, and then the ring goes out and out further, and then you're the universe. And so you can really see what colors people choose that
Yeah.
represent their people and how the sizes of their dots. And it's pretty magical. And I don't tell them
Mhm.
beforehand. It's after they've done their first rock. Then I say, okay, let's look at our rocks, everybody, and kind of read it. And
Yeah.
so
And kind of
I
read them.
read them, and you find out all kinds of things, their soul. I love their soul color because it's representative of the chakra system for me. And yeah, there's a lot of
I love
people.
that.
It's just so, and they're all different, and there's no right or wrong. But and I think if you were to do it again, like in a year or two, you might choose a different color, for your
Yeah.
center. You
Oh,
never
yeah.
know, right? Things
Yeah. Well,
change.
I know. And I think that's a really great point is like the interpretation process is, being with somebody who can trust that. Because I know we do this with the intuitive vision boarding, which you've been a part
Mhm.
of those workshops. Um, and the whole point is, we coach for an hour and then you're kind of you engage into the actual construction of your board and it is completely intuitively based.
Yeah, I love
And one
that.
of the things that I love about that process for me is there's no words. If you do an intuitive vision board with me, you steer clear of wording, all words, because you end up focusing on a different part of your brain, right? When you're looking at words. And actually in this process with tapping into your intuition, words are really limiting.
I could see that.
Words are very, very,
Right.
they
And I'm
close
sure
you in, right?
people would think, oh, but gosh, but that I want my favorite quote, or I want my
Yeah.
word, how could the word
I know, like,
magic be like limiting? But I
oh,
totally get it. I
yeah,
totally get
but
that, Manjeet.
isn't
Yeah.
it funny? And I get resistance all the time, right?
I'm
There's always a
sure.
couple
Or
people
like
that are like,
numbers, like,
"What
can I
the what?"
please have my angel number on here? Yeah, I
No, I'm
agree.
like,
I love
no.
it.
Well, yeah,
I
because
agree.
there's so many other ways for you to show me magic in your life
Right.
without the word, right? Like
Right.
maybe it is a picture of a bunch of stars in the universe, and those are the things that are unending. Like images are like, I mean, really, they're worth 1,000 words.
I
So
agree.
yeah.
Such a huge interpretation. Yeah.
Yeah. And when we
Yeah.
access words, we're really in the other part of our brain. And it
Mm-hmm.
can, so it kind of pulls us into the intuitive world when you focus on just imagery. Yeah. So I just love that because at the end, what's so fascinating is you could have two people in one of my intuitive vision board workshops that have almost the exact looking board, but it
Wow.
will mean something completely different
Right.
for each
Right.
person. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That
Cool.
is the intuitive process that
Yeah.
you and me are connecting to that person, not
Right.
just the images. It's the placement of them and where they are in their life and the board. And, that art starts to speak to us, right? In a
Mm-hmm.
really interesting way. Like, so I just find that really interesting. Like, two people will have a bunch of birds, for example, on their board, but the bird might
Oh,
mean
yeah.
something very different to the one person than the
Yeah.
other, right?
Yeah.
So isn't that funny?
I love
I
that.
just, yeah, I just love the whole interpretation process because I think you're right. I think when people are putting these pieces together, they're not, they're just trusting, but
Yeah.
they're not knowing yet. And
Right.
so sometimes when we come in, they'll be like, oh shit, I didn't realize that's what that,
That's right.
wow.
Didn't know. Right. Yeah. I
Yeah,
love that.
I
And
love
for
it.
me, creativity, I believe, and again, it's such a huge umbrella word, really and truly. There's so many different ways to be creative. But I think that each soul needs creativity in their life of some sort. I
Yeah.
think each soul yearns for it, wants it to be creative in their mind. And so if we can create a space, like you said, where they feel safe, and not
Yeah.
just safe, but then we raise their vibration a little bit to where they're feeling joy and they're a little happy.
Yeah.
You play some
Mm.
music that gets them in this frequency. In my painting parties, I play fun music that people can sing because then
Mhm.
they're actually happy. They're humming. They're
Mhm.
feeling good. Then they're looking at colors, and I say, pick the colors you love. What resonates with you? What are you feeling? And so they're in a space already that's higher vibe. And that's
Mhm.
where we tap into spirit. That's where we're feeling good. And that's when information will connect. So I always believe this, like, got to be doing something that we love and that we enjoy,
Yeah.
or at least be curious. If you're saying, oh gosh, I don't really want to walk in the woods and gather a bunch of twigs. Well, be curious about it then. Like, the what
Mhm.
ifs, like, oh, okay, I'm just going to smell the air. I'm going to enjoy the trees, and I'm going to just kind of go with my gut and feel what I'm supposed to grab. And so I think getting
Yeah.
people into a space where they can trust just to go with the feeling, just go
Yeah.
with it. Let it lead you. Don't control it, right?
Yeah.
Try not to
Well, and I think
control.
it's an important distinction to make as well that just because these are high vibration, it doesn't mean that we're not healing or going through pain when we do this
Yes,
process. So I just want to make that
correct.
really important distinction because um, our higher self, right, during these processes of connecting, whether it's an art or a session or whatever, when you're in that higher frequency, what's going to come through is going to come through. And that's going to
Yep.
be divine and powerful for you.
Yes.
Right. So even
Yeah.
though you're feeling, you're raising your vibration and all this stuff is coming through, it doesn't mean we're bypassing the learning
Not at
or
all.
the pain that
Not at
because
all.
sometimes
Oh,
sometimes reading
believe
these
me.
boards, it's like, holy shit, like
Yep.
you're just untapped some really deep feeling that was
Mhm.
wanting to be born, for you, you
Yeah.
know. So it's not all just like, oh, yay, it's all fun and lovely. And a lot of times, especially the manifestation boards, they're like, holy shit, like I'm ready for this kind of expansion. And that's kind of a different kind of energy. And I think that's why I also put here, it's so important when you're doing this intuitive process that you have maybe like a general idea of what you're wanting to create. Like maybe you are doing this
Or
for healing.
connect
Like
to.
for us,
Yeah.
it was liberation, right? In our
Right.
workshop,
I love, yeah, always have kind of a
right?
theme. I agree. A
Like
theme
just a
or an intention.
general
Just,
something. Yeah.
yep. Well, even when it comes to, tarot
Spirit.
cards or oracle cards, or
Mhm.
when anytime you're going to do a spread, and maybe it is really tell me what I need to know, very general, but sometimes it's like,
Yeah.
shit, I'm having a hard time at work right now. Tell me
Yeah.
what I need to know surrounding, my career, my job, or my
Yes.
marriage is struggling right now. And so I think you're right. Having a little bit of an intention or a theme or purpose
Mhm.
kind of helps narrow it down a tiny bit more, just a
Yeah.
tiny bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the other stuff that wants to come forward is going to come forward, whether you
No
like it
matter
or
what,
not.
it's all divine.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. It's
Yeah.
all
But,
divine. Yeah.
when I do my intuitive vision board workshops, there's always a theme because we're always
Yes,
coaching
exactly.
around.
Right.
So like there's the inner moon goddess. So we're going to be in this intuitive vision board, we're connecting with your inner moon goddess. And we usually do those on the full moon, right? So, or it's about balance, right? Or it's
Yeah.
something very like, where in your life are you looking for profound self-care or balance or healing, right? What is that? What can I think too, this is a, kind of like you were saying with the oracle cards, when we have that bit of an intention, it really helps spirit come
Mm-hmm.
forward. It really said, spirit goes, oh, I got it. I know exactly what to tell you instead of bombarding you with a whole bunch of shit that you don't know what to do with.
Right.
Right. Because
Right.
otherwise, spirit's coming at you and they're trying so hard to bring you all this information and healing and knowledge. But we, as these human vessels, we get overwhelmed by that, or we get
Mm.
scared. We have a couple of our intuitive women at our Lightworkers Unite events that are like, I just get flooded.
Yeah.
I don't know what is
It's like
what,
drinking from a fire hose, like,
Yes,
oh,
it's like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
so that intention piece is, I think, really super important so that you don't leave that intuitive art process or workshop or whatever feeling more confused than when
Yeah.
you started, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the whole point. Yeah.
That is. And it helps if you have facilitators, I think, that can help
Mm-hmm.
guide and interpret.
100%.
And when we're reading it, we're
Yeah.
helping them. It's, I could tap into their guides, and you and I are tapping into their guides. We're tapping into their higher selves, their energy, and we are psychically and spiritually providing them with, okay, it sounds like, feels like, looks like this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
to
love it.
help them. Yeah, I do too.
It,
So
it,
let's
it
talk
is one of
about
my
this.
favorite things to do. It
What
is
is?
really one of my favorites. Like, Um, just reading like
Oh,
these pieces of art like we did
yes.
this weekend
Oh, I
and
love it.
like the intuitive vision boarding and like even being a participant in
Mhm,
creating that, like
mhm.
it just feels so magical to me. Like
It
and I
is.
love the reading them. That right? Don't
It's
we
so fun.
we just feed off each other.
I know. Well, I love it because we either see the same thing or we see
Yeah,
completely different things that I
totally.
think is all on purpose. It's all divine work. I
Yeah.
to help them. I love it. I love it too.
It is
So
cool.
we need to do
Yeah.
more of this, I think. Just in
Okay.
general, Lightworkers Unite. And we were just talking about this, everyone. I would love it if you guys made a comment on the podcast or on our Instagram page, how you feel about coming to an
Ooh.
intuitive art, creative circle. We were we're
Mm.
wondering, like, maybe we should do a couples thing in February for Valentine's Day, because I know Guided Gatherings has done this before, where I got couples together and we would paint mandalas on black canvases, guided, of course, step by step. So at the end, the partners don't see the other person's side yet, and you present it at the end, and you match them up and put the two together to make one solid circle. And to see the differences of the halves is so incredible, and then to read them. So we're wondering, like Manjeet and I are talking, we might want to host one of those. That would be super fun.
Ooh,
And kind of bring in some
yes.
men to Lightworkers Unite, because we have a lot of female listeners.
We have
one
our
or
one
two.
dude.
One dude, yeah.
No, I'm kidding. And we
I
love
don't
you.
know.
We love
Yes,
you so
yes,
much,
yeah.
dude.
So I think that would be super
Yeah.
fun. And you don't have to be married. You don't have to be boyfriend, girlfriend. You could come with a friend, just, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter. But
absolutely.
we're saying it could be your bestie, it could be your sister, it could be your
Aw, I
mom.
love that.
So whatever you think, and we would just kind of put your little mandala together. It'd be a great gift to walk away from. We'll take pictures.
Aw,
It'd be something that you could
yeah.
take home and really look at. But we would get to read them at the end, and it'll show a little bit about yourself
Yeah.
and then your relationship. It's so interesting.
Wow. And
So
right for
interesting.
Valentine's Day, how beautiful
It
would that
is.
be,
I
right?
know, right?
So it's, we're going to create the space. We're going to have all the supplies.
Yeah.
All you have to do is show up with an open heart
Yeah.
and a trusting in the process, and be ready for some really fun surprises and connection.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
I love
creativity
it.
and healing and love. I mean, yeah, and being, like you said, be open to the process, and just know that we are creating a safe space for you. But and really fun,
yes.
really fun.
Sure.
So, and speaking of really
Super fun.
we've got our last Lightworkers Unite Sister Circle in December. So Saturday,
I
December
know.
2nd,
Yay.
5:30 to 8:30. And we are offering all those past attendees who have come to these Lightworker Sister Circles. You'll get a discount. So you'll be seeing that email this week. We're going to reach out to all of you guys first. And then you'll have an opportunity to sign up for December. I think the deadline to do that is October 17th.
Yes.
And then we're also offering a buddy, like bring a friend, bring a sister also.
Yeah.
So a little discount that if you want to come with someone and join us.
Yeah, because this is all about celebration. So the more the merrier. We're going to have a beautiful little venue, and we're going to just be all about connecting. And we're going to do readings. People we're going to celebrate and have readings for people just for the new year, what to expect, what do we want to honor about the year that has just ended, and what is happening for you in the next chapter of your life. And, maybe, Mayume and I can offer some guidance and some strength and hope and wisdom for you as you go into January 2024. What the fuck?
I know, 2024. No, it's a good year though. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited.
Doesn't that feel like that? It feels like I feel like this is like the closing. Like this is a beautiful way to close the year. And whether it's been a really hard year for you, or a very challenging year, or a very exciting year, volatile year, whatever is coming up for you around that, we are always looking for some kind of closure, right, at the end of the year, in order to open up to the next adventure, right? And so I think that's a big part of this December energy. It's about celebration, acknowledgement of what you fucking have been through.
That's right. And kind of ending that cycle. I just feel like sometimes those cycles, it's about the transition, coming to a close, wrapping it up, put a bow on it, and say thank you, 2023.
Yeah.
Right.
What did I learn? What do I want to take with me that serves me moving forward intentionally? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And then, and we've got a great year ahead for Lightworkers Unite. We're super excited about that too.
Yes, we are. Yeah, we are. We got a lot of things going on.
We
I know.
got a lot of things going on. Can't wait to share it with you all. Yes, just
I'm dying right now. That's so awesome. No, I know it's it's going to be, a really fun, like a fun gathering. And I'm just really looking forward to that. So we would love, love, love to have you there. We might even, I don't know, like, well, actually, it's probably time we need to do a fall reading, a reading for folks. So maybe in the next couple of podcasts, stay tuned for that. We're going to do
pull some
pick
cards.
a card from 1 to
Yeah.
4, right?
Yeah,
And
we
then
need to do that. Yeah.
start connecting us to this fall energy in
The
the
fall
Pacific
energy is
Northwest.
awesome.
We woke up and it was
I
like,
know.
shit, fall.
Yeah, it's fall. It is here.
It's
Dang it.
fall.
No, I
Yeah.
know. It is.
Where,
It's here.
where
It's
are my
awesome.
turtlenecks?
But yeah,
I need
but
them.
that's okay because I'm excited about pumpkins and you know how I feel about Halloween. It's my
I know.
fucking
I love
favorite.
it.
So I know we were texting about maybe we should hold a witch hunt. How fun would that be?
Oh my gosh.
You know,
I love
maybe
it.
a little light workers unite, witch circle.
Yeah. I
Come
think
on
a
in,
witch
Krista.
circle sounds better because I don't want to
Yeah.
hunt. I
No,
don't want to.
no,
I don't
no,
want to
that's
hunt them because we want to love them, right? I don't want to hunt no witches
No,
because
no,
I'm
no.
a witch.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
are
We
witches.
should,
Yeah.
we got to do something like that. Bring in the witch in
Yes.
you, and maybe it could be dress up.
Yeah.
When are we going to do this?
I don't know. Okay, let's plan it. See,
Let's
this
plan
is
it.
okay.
See?
You guys,
This is what
everyone
we
listening
do.
right now, this is exactly what happens. She comes up with these great fucking ideas,
And we do it. And then we do it.
just go.
And then we just do it.
And then we
Okay.
need a location because then we're frantically looking for a
Yeah,
place
we
to go.
are. Yes, we are. We are looking for a
I know.
location. Let's
We
bring that
need-
in. So I think so.
Yes.
The
We
right
need a
one will come.
home, a Lightworkers
We
Unite home.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah,
It's coming. It's coming. We're
together.
getting closer. We're getting closer. So
Yeah.
we'll
And-
just have to pick a date and we'll throw it out there last minute. You
Okay.
never know with
Let's do it.
Halloween. We'll have to do that.
Yeah.
I hope
and we
can
could
make this
just
happen. Okay.
maybe it is a night with spirit.
I know, literally. Woo!
Yes. Okay.
Bring your broom. Bring your broom.
Bring your and your fake eyelashes.
For sure.
Remember
Fire legs, eyelashes, for sure. I love it.
I
Come
love
with the
it.
theme. I love it.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
This
thank
was super
you,
fun.
my
I can't wait to
darling.
get it. Yep. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Great week. And we will be
Yes.
back here next week. We've got some more things to talk about. But yes, don't forget to come check it out if you are interested in joining us in the next and last one of the series of the Lightworkers Sister
yes.
Circle, December 2nd. Let us
Yeah.
know. We know it's
Yes, and
ahead of
we
time,
appreciate you.
but yeah, we would love
We
to have
appreciate
you.
all of you so much for supporting us and loving us and listening to us. And if you've made it to the end of this podcast, we are very grateful for you all.
We are.
I could do this forever. This
I
is
know,
so
just
fun.
sit and talk. Like, what's the next topic? Let's go. We should actually have people send us topics. We'll cut them up, put them in a little piece, pieces of paper, put them in a hat, and just randomly pull and just talk about it.
Yeah, I love that.
I think it'd be kind of fun. Okay, what are we talking about today? Well, let's find out. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. We love you.
All right, love you. Love you, man.
You're
Thanks everyone for listening. Until next week. Okay, bye.
Until next week. Namaste.